On the first Sunday of this month, we started a series entitled, Three People Showed Up Last. It's titled what? You got it. We are one. We started this series in an effort to raise the consciousness of our oneness, not only with God, as we talked about the first Sunday, but with each other. And last Sunday, Mindy did, I think, an extraordinary job in talking about our oneness with the earth. And I pray that you enjoyed her as much as I did. And today, we will continue in that consciousness as we explore our oneness with the world. We are one with the world. And this is keeping with our principle for the month of July, which is divine understanding. And we are acknowledging this principle, and understanding is our ability to make sense, to just make sense of life and what's going on at times in life. And friends, that's a spiritual gift that we have. It's a spiritual faculty. And the disciple that we know that corresponds with this spiritual faculty is who? Thomas. What's his other name? He was called Doubting Thomas. Thomas wanted understanding. In fact, sacred text says, in all thy getting, get understanding. And as we consider this, we are one with the world. Our Hawaiian proverb today is ike kahi, ike kahi. Oh, let's hear it. Ike kahi, ike kahi. You are doing so much better with this. Which translates, one consciousness connects us all. Let's say that. One consciousness connects us all. According to Hermetic philosophy, there is, in fact, Hermetic philosophy identifies 7 universal laws, 7 universal principles. And a principle is that which is unchanging, enduring, it's everlasting, it is eternal. It is something that works. These principles of the universe work for everyone, regardless to what our lot might be or has been in life. The universal principles work for everyone. And Hermetic philosophy identifies the first of these 7 principles as the principle of mentalism. And the principle of mentalism states the all is mind. It says that the universe is mental. It's mental energy. Your body, your life, your world, your affairs, according to Hermetic philosophy, is the result of your thoughts, of your mental energy. In fact, you may recall on the first Sunday we said that we were reminded that quantum physics reminds us that the entire universe was formed from thought. God, the great spirit, thought all of this, well, those of you who believe in the creation story, thought all of this into existence. And because His presence and power is not only transcendent, but it's immanent, it lives within us, we have the same ability to think things into our experience. As Florence Scovel Shinn says in the title of her book, your word, your thoughts become your wand as well. Your word is your wand. And through our words and our thinking, we're able to bring forth into expression that which we desire. So the principle of mentalism embodies the truth that all is mind and explains it this way. Listen closely. It says the all, which includes material universe, the material universe, it includes matter and energy. Tap on your pew. That's matter. Touch yourself. Dense energy, matter. Energy. It says that the all includes all of this. It is spirit. It is spirit, which is in and of itself unknowable, undefinable, and as Dr. Dan would say, unlimitable. It says that spirit is universal, infinite. It is the living mind. And we are all part of this living mind, this mental energy. We are all part of this divine mind, as Ernest Holmes says. We are all part of this. There is no separation of it. Many of you may recall the movie that came out years ago, I think around the same time that The Secret came out. It was entitled, What the Bleep Do We Know? In which scientists talks about the sea of energy that we're all part of. It says that we are a droplet in this big universal ocean, and we're so connected. We're all part of this. Well, this is the crux of Unity's teaching, that we are one, that we are unified, not on a surface level. And on a surface level, it sounds good. But to go even deeper and to feel this level of oneness, I remember hearing Reverend Michael Beckwith tell his story. Those of you who know Reverend Michael Beckwith from Agape, The Secret, how many of you know Reverend Michael? He's going to be with us in September. He tells a story in which he was having, I think he was somewhere, maybe it was on the continent of Africa, and he had this experience with the shamans. And they took him out in the jungle. It was dark. I mean, it was pitch black. And out in the jungle, he couldn't see anything. But they were reminding him of his oneness with everything. And says at that moment, he really entered the dimension of oneness where he felt connected with the land. And he says everything all of a sudden just lit up, like the trees lit up, like there were lights all over the trees, the grass. He could see everything. From the space and place of our oneness with God, our oneness with each other, our oneness with the earth, our oneness with all of life, we get to see clearly. Unity teaches us that. It reminds us of that. In his discourse entitled One Consciousness, many of you may recall the great author and mystic Joel Goldsmith. He says he's the founder of the Infinite Way movement. He says, it has been revealed that there is only one consciousness. One consciousness. Say it, there's only one consciousness. Convince your neighbor, there's only one consciousness. He says this consciousness is God. He says that the consciousness known as God is the consciousness known as man and must become one in recognition. One consciousness. And the consciousness that is God is the consciousness of the I am. Friends, this idea that we are one with the world is so important. There's such a need for oneness. In fact, we've said it in the past couple of services, the previous services, that there is a concerted effort to create and to sow seeds of separation in the heart and mind of man. You see, this is important because how many of you, mass media, this is no disrespect. Those of you who work mass media, there's no disrespect. But you do know that mass media is controlled media. Do you not know that? How many of you already knew that mass media, CNN, ABC, NBC, Fox, all of it is controlled media? Who did not know that? Raise your hand. I'm glad you know it now. It means they tell us what they want us to think. And here's the truth. Catch this truth. You see, if you ever get the mind of man, if you can control the mind of man, if you can get the man's mind, you got his behind. And you have everything that he owns. If you can control his mind, and if you can sow seeds of separation, and there is this effort to sow seeds of separation, and they use race and religion, they use color and sexuality, they use gender and education and socioeconomic status and education and pedigree. They use our ethnic and national backgrounds to sow seeds of separation. And a mind that does not know the truth and not steeped in oneness will accept the seed and begin to look at everyone else and say, oh, it's us and them. I'm better than you because of this reason. You're better than me. Friends, that's nonsense. Say it's nonsense. It is stupidity because there's only one God, one earth, one world, one human family, and we are it. You're it. I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, green, polka dot, male, female, gay, straight. I don't care if your hair is long, short, if you don't have any hair at all. We are still part of the same family. We bleed the same. You don't inhale your water, you drink it. And we all go use that facilities when we need to, don't we? We have to pull down the pants, raise your skirt, whatever you need to, we do it the same. We are one family. And it's a call for us today to rise up out of the stuff of separation and come back to our first love as unity. I heard one unity minister say, there is no unity in unity. I heard one unity minister say that. Got the name, but don't have the principle. Uh-oh. See, it's one thing. You see, sacred text says that they have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. When you're truly one, you walk in oneness. You can receive anybody regardless of their lot in life. It doesn't matter what your background has been. It doesn't matter what you have gone through. It doesn't matter what you have come. You see, when you come into the greater awareness of who God is in you and who you are in God, your past won't even matter. And from the place and space of oneness, you can walk in confidence and in calm. You don't have to cheat, steal, manipulate, dominate, nor control. Because what belongs to you is yours by divine right. Can't nobody get it. Can't nobody take it. Can't nobody steal it. If they get it, they're going to have to release it because it has your name on it. You don't have to run around worried about who's going to get it. No. Those are the seeds of separation. I was given a book at my very first church. At the age of 29, I started serving my first church, the First Unity Church. Southside Unity Center of Christianity on the south side of Chicago. It was the oldest church, the first Unity Church in the city of Chicago. And there and serving at the age of 29, my first church. This is my seventh church. The first Unity Church. I was given a book entitled The 48 Laws of Power. And I read that book. But the more I read it, the more the vibration of the book did not resonate with my spirit. You see, you got to know the truth. You got to know your truth. The master teacher says, my sheep knows my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. But you got to know the voice of God. You got to know the voice of spirit, the true voice. And I read that book, and in that book, one of the 48 laws is the law of divide and conquer. You see, if you can divide the masses, and this happens in business often, CEOs, executives, they look to divide the team. They will put this team very subtly against this team. But each of these teams will have an allegiance to the leader. And as long as the group, the masses are divided, they can never come together on one accord and really impact true change. And friends, this is the effort that's happening in our community. But it's time for the great expressions of God to rise up in truth. It's time for unity to rise up as unity and be unity in the world, to give the world an example of what true oneness is supposed to look like. That we can stand hand in hand, we can walk together, we can cry together. We don't always have to agree, but we can respect each other. We can show sympathy and empathy and compassion and concern and love. Several years ago, in fact, it was about in 1985, how many years ago? 40? No, 30? You do the math. How many years? 30 years. Whew, that's a junior moment. 30 years ago. 30 years ago, a group of entertainers got together, and they decided that they wanted to really embody this sense of oneness. And it was right after a major event occurred on the continent of Africa. You may recall that in 1985, around that time, 84, 85, there was a major drought that left over 1 million people in Ethiopia. Over 1 million people transitioned in Ethiopia. And so these leaders got together, these, big stars said, hey, we want to really raise the consciousness in our world. Catch this, friends, that whatever is going on with the mother over in Ethiopia is affecting us right here in Hawaii. Whatever is happening to a father in Asia or in Japan is affecting us right here in Hawaii. Whatever is happening to a boy in India is impacting us right here in Hawaii. Whatever is happening to a little girl on the streets of New York City is impacting us right here in Hawaii, because there is no separation. If it happens anywhere in the universe, it's happening right where we are. If there's any good that's going to happen anywhere in the universe, it begins with us right here and right now. So they got together and said, we just want to pull our resources and bring together the world, the nation, through music. Music is one of the great unifiers. And I believe it was Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie got together and they entered the zone, and it was as though the song began to write itself. And they got with Quincy Jones as the producer, and there was one other guy that helped to produce it. And I want you to hear these words that became a #1 hit. And not only did it become a #1 hit, it was known as the charity song, that all of the resources, all of the monies, the proceeds that came in from the song, and even now they went to help those who were really struggling on the continent of Africa. The word says, there comes a time when we must hear a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. Why? Because we are the world. We are the children. We are the one to make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me. If you know it, sing it with me. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. We are the children. We are the ones. We are the ones to make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. You are the world, friend. I am the world. You are the world. We are the world. God bless you.